Hey Maker, in this video, I interviewed Justin Brown from Primal Video to understand how he cracked YouTube SEO and climbed the YouTube rankings. He also explains his approach towards YouTube SEO and video marketing. Justin explains how a falling tree almost killed him once and why he never edits his very own YouTube videos. Yes, Justin does not edit his videos. And at the very end, he also explains the social media superpower that Justin would love to have. With all that said, let's roll the intro. Hey guys, my name is Jagdish and I'm the content marketer at PickMaker, a free do-it-yourself design tool that helps you create social media posts, YouTube banners, YouTube thumbnails, flyers, posters. The list just keeps going on and on. Without wasting any more of your time, let's jump right into the interview. Tell me a bit about, yourself and Mike. Like, how did you guys come up with the idea of Primal Video? How did, how was it born?
Okay, so Mike is my brother and my business partner at Primal Video. We've had a couple of other startup businesses before, but it wasn't until I was working on a documentary project where I had this amazing opportunity to be flown around the world to interview some of the top people in the digital marketing online space. And they were the nicest people, and they'd built these massive followings and were having so much impact with their content. And all they were doing was just helping people. It was crazy. So that was kind of something then, went off for me. And I was talking to Mike and we're like, look, we could probably do this. There's lots of people that need help with video. There's lots of people that don't like their job and what they're doing to bring in income. So what if we could start to help people with YouTube or creating videos for really any social media platform and start to just to share some tips and those sorts of things. So it's really just grown from there, but it was more, what inspired it was seeing other people who were really successful, but helping a lot of people. And that was kind of the light bulb moment for us.
Since you are a top gun on YouTube, like, what have you learned so far on YouTube? You've been on YouTube for so long. What's your, you would have learned a ton of things from video marketing, but what did you learn on YouTube, especially as a platform?
So we've learned a lot. We're still learning. I wouldn't say that we still have it all figured out. YouTube is an amazing algorithm, an amazing beast that is constantly changing. But the biggest reason that we weren't started, when we started, I was just creating random videos and no one was finding them. We nearly stopped uploading videos because it was a bad business decision for us at that point. So we weren't getting that return from the amount of time and effort that we're putting into creating content. But what changed for us was we started to look at YouTube more as a search engine, which is what it is. It's not just a place to throw videos up and hope to get views on them, which is what we were doing and what a lot of people do. So we had to work out, what can we do inside our videos? What can we do with our titles and descriptions and tags and thumbnail images that would help YouTube put our content in front of the right people, but also want people to click our content and have it in a place where they can find it and want to consume it. So it's been this constant journey of trying and testing and figuring stuff out. But I will say that we are very strategic now about every piece of content that we create. We're doing research up front to make sure that people actually want the content that we're going to create. And they're actually typing that stuff into Google or to YouTube, and we'll create those videos. And that way I don't have to worry about trying to have a video go viral. I know that people will want the content and are searching for it. And then we've just got to give YouTube all the information that it needs to put our content there for that search result for that person.
Sometimes, just going after, search volumes might not be essential to achieve the growth. Sometimes you have to go after, topics that are trending, topics that have, that might have no search volume or intent in the future, but it is like really hot right now. So how do you, go about that subject?
Yeah. So again, there's so many different strategies to grow on YouTube, and there's so many different types of channels or types of content that you could be creating. If your channel revolves around trending topics and stuff that is happening right now, I think your goal doesn't change. You still got to give YouTube enough information so that when people are typing that in or wanting to see a trending topic, or they have the trending feature on YouTube, that section, if you want to get in there, then you've still got to let YouTube understand what your content is about. So even if you're not trying to show up in search results, still coming from an SEO starting point where you are doing some research, working out what the trending topics are, working out what people are typing in to find those trending topics is going to give you the best foot forward, or the best starting point to show up in search, suggested, recommended, browse, all of those things. So we would still take that same approach. And it just means that you're lining up your content with what people are typing in, even if it's a trending topic. But yeah, as you said, it could be that a trending topic might show up for a week, might show up for a month, and then drop off. That's why for us, we've chosen not to do too many videos that are based on trending topics. I'd much rather create content and have the video relevant for years afterwards. That's our goal. So as YouTube is a business tool for us, we do have a lot of videos that are coming up on 6 years old that are still bringing in a ton of views a day, for no extra work from me than creating the video originally. So that's more what we'd like to see.
Okay, so moving away from, a lot of technical questions. A lot of people know you as a YouTuber, a YouTube marketer, video marketer. But apart from that, who is Justin Brown? Like, what else does he do in his spare time? Because I know that people would love to know you as more than just a YouTube, guy that shows up on your YouTube videos. So who is Justin Brown? So
I do spend a lot of time at the beach. I'm very fortunate to live very close to the beach. Okay. I also have a small family, so I've got 2 young kids. So my focus is to use YouTube or use this business to have the life that I want and to help other people have the life that they want. So outside of YouTube, we're looking for fun things to do, fun ways to spend our time. That's the same with our team that works with us. Like, we're very specific. We don't want to have a massive team, a massive global business. We want to be able to shift and pivot and travel when that's a thing again. So that's kind of what we look for. We're looking for the fun stuff, and we try to get all of our team to work in the areas where that they are pumped to come to work. And yeah, obviously there's times where we all have to do things that we don't want to do, but yeah, my background is in video production, and that's where, like, the surfing stuff. I used to film a big wave surfer. I used to follow one around the world, and I mean, it was an amazing opportunity to work with some of the biggest brands. And I will say that I am happy that these days, just teaching on YouTube instead of going out in crazy massive surf, my chances of dying at work these days are a lot less than they used to be. I have way too many close calls and near-death experiences working with crazy athletes. So I'm kind of happy that phase of my life is over.
You talked about, near-death experiences. If it's okay, could you build up on that one?
Okay, so yeah. So with this guy behind me here, Mark Visser, the big wave surfer, one of his documentary projects was all around pushing the boundaries of big wave surfing, and they were trying to find a 100-foot wave. So in order to find some of these 100-foot waves, we're working with the US Navy, we're working with a lot of people, monitoring satellite data to work out where these big waves are and where they've never been ridden before. So some of them are in the middle of the ocean, and by the time we knew that the big swell was going to hit those places, we wouldn't be able to get there in time by boat. So I had to learn to skydive, or the whole team had to learn to skydive with all the camera gear and everything. And we would throw jet skis out of the planes and airdrop into those places to be able to surf them and film them. And some of the training stuff from that was pretty crazy. We had a lot of underwater breath hold training as well, because you get held under by a 70, 80-foot wave. You're under there for a while. So lots of experiences like that. Parachutes not opening on really low jumps, being held underwater. Big waves inherently, they normally come with just before or just after a big storm, big weather conditions. So I've been filming and had trees fall and take out all my camera gear, and somehow it managed to miss me. So that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, you know what, just teaching people how to film and how to create amazing videos and how to get views on YouTube and build money and a business around it. It's a much safer thing to do than be out in wild weather conditions.
That is something I'm happy to have. But then, yeah. So, okay, Justin. So, moving back into technical stuff yet again. Like, okay, you've been on YouTube for so long. What's the biggest mistake you made on YouTube? If you're okay with sharing that.
Yeah. Biggest mistake. It'd be hard to pick one, because I think almost every mistake you could make, we have made. And that's where I guess that what we teach is essentially stopping people from making all the mistakes that we made. So starting with that research and doing some research before I just go, hey, that's a good video idea. Let's go and shoot that. And then let's come up with a title afterwards. Let's try and make a thumbnail and everything afterwards. By not doing the planning up front, we were really holding ourselves back. And that's really what we teach now. How do you plan up front to know that your content has its best place to succeed on YouTube, and that it is something that people actually want. So the planning and everything was a big one. There's lots around like the thumbnail strategy. Like you could have the world's best video. If no one clicks on it on YouTube, they're not going to see it. So your thumbnail strategy is huge. Also, then the third piece is, even if you get your videos showing up on the platform on YouTube, they get clicked. If it's not engaging, or you're not keeping people watching until the end of the video, then people won't want to keep watching it, or YouTube won't want to keep featuring it because it's not getting what it needs. It's not getting people engaged in the platform. So yeah, lots of mistakes along the way.
Moving, back into something non-technical. I have no clue if you read books, but I'm pretty sure you would. So, can you give me some of your favorite books that are related to, let's say, marketing?
Look, there's a lot. I'm an audiobook person. I love listening to stuff at 3 speed just so I can consume the content quicker. The 80-20 principle is a good one. Over deliver is a good one. The 4-hour work week is a classic. That's something that really sort of, that's the goal, right? That's the dream. How do I do what I need to do and be so efficient that I don't need to be working 24/7? We hear all the hustle, hustle, hustle. Well, I see a lot of people out there that are hustling, but they're hustling doing the wrong stuff. So I'd much rather not hustle, but be really specific with my time. And so that's kind of, I don't have any real specific examples outside of that, but there's a lot of YouTube content that we watch. There's a lot of mentors in the online digital space that we listen to. And it really is about, I think, running your own race, hearing the different examples from different people, but don't take any of that as that's the exact path for you. Like, it's all just information you can take in, and then you get to choose what you want to do. You get to choose what content you want to put out. While I say do the research to see what people are searching for, I'm not saying only create those videos. I'm saying, like, if it's a fit for your channel and that's something that you'd be pumped to create, then create it. But you get to choose. Don't create something just for the sake of an algorithm.
Okay, Justin, speaking about books, I want to ask you this question. Like, do you have any favorite books on video marketing or, cinematography, all those fields like this? Is there something like that? Or, did you just learn from, your courses and all that?
So for me, I'm a visual learner. I'd much rather jump on places like YouTube and consume content that way. And that way, you end up with a good list of bookmarked or favorite videos and those kinds of things that you can jump back into. But for me, I'd much rather, I learn by doing. So I'd much rather jump into an editing program and figure it out. But wherever I get stuck, that's when I'm going to YouTube or Google to search to get unstuck with that piece. And that's kind of where our channel really stemmed from as well, is that we are very specific with the content that we create, but we know then what people's pain or problem is, like what editing software should they use, how to make a thumbnail, how to do all these things. We know that these are issues or problems that people want to overcome. So I'm no different. When I have a problem or an issue or something I want to learn, I'm going to the same place. I'm going to YouTube or I'm going to Google just to solve that piece so I can keep moving. So for me, I'm a visual learner. I generally head to YouTube instead of reading a blog or anything like that.
What business lessons have you learned from YouTube?
Yeah, so a lot of people think with YouTube that they need to be, the only way to make money on YouTube is by YouTube themselves. Like when you hit the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, that's how you make money on YouTube. There's so many other revenue opportunities or ways that you can make money on YouTube from day one. And even when a lot of people hit that 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours to be part of YouTube's paid ad program, they're not really making much money at that point anyway. So there's lots of opportunity out there for people to earn money from day one with things like affiliate marketing, where you're paid a commission or a referral fee for helping someone with a buying decision. So that's a big piece of our business, is affiliate marketing. You also got sponsor deals or brand deals. So I guess on the flip side, the other thing that holds a lot of people back about not seeing YouTube or not starting on YouTube for business or for making money is that they'll look and see that there's already other people out there that are already making the content that they want to make. And they'll start to look and say, well, that channel has 1 million subscribers. Who am I to compete with that? How can I compete with that, or they're already making all the videos that I want to make. And I think that that's where a lot of people stop. Now, know that YouTube isn't too overcrowded. Know that there is still massive opportunity on YouTube. And the biggest thing really is that YouTube rewards and is featuring and wants new content, not just to show the old stuff all the time. There is big merit in creating stuff now, recent, relevant content, but also that even if there's someone else already making the same videos, you then know that people want to watch those kind of videos. You're not just creating random stuff that people don't want. Like, you know, that video's got 4 million views. Hey, I'm going to share my thoughts, my opinions based on my experience that no one else has, because there is no other you. So that's like, we can talk about this stuff all day. Whatever excuses people have to not starting on YouTube or whatever it is, we can talk through that, because it isn't too late. It's not too overcrowded. There is plenty of space on there for you to share your thoughts and to help people with the stuff that you're pumped to talk about.
Okay, building up on this answer that you gave me, I see a lot of individual creators trumping over brands, in the recent days. So I see your channel, and before Primal video, that's your name, Justin Brown. So is that a conscious decision that you took to have like your personal brand stamped on all your videos? Like, how did that come? Because you're still a brand, but still, why is it like Justin Brown Primal video?
That's a really good question. So obviously Primal video, there's more than just me. So what we looked at was, what do humans remember more? And there's a lot of studies and psychology stuff around this. Like, for us to remember a random brand name, like Adidas, Nike, whatever, like we all know those things now, but we have to hear them so many times before they are built into memory. Whereas you could meet someone in the street and you're much more likely to remember their name with less times hearing it. So for us, we went the hybrid, Justin Brown, Primal video, so that we would really have 2 attempts for people to try and remember us. And it's funny because when I run into people, they're like, "Oh, you're on YouTube. Yeah. What was the name of your channel again?" Or others will say, "Oh, hey, you're the Primal video guy. What was your name?" So it's interesting that some people remember one and others remember the other. So yeah, we thought we'd hedge our bets and do both.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Speaking about this one, what other YouTube hacks have you found over the course of a YouTube journey? Because this one is a legit hack, I'll be honest with you. So what other hacks have you found going on in a YouTube journey?
I think, it's not really a hack. By us now starting with research and knowing that people are literally typing in how to make a thumbnail iOS, how to make a thumbnail Android, like, it feels like we're cheating a little bit when we create those videos, because they're going to perform, or YouTube's going to at least test them in those top spots, knowing that people are literally typing that in word for word. But I'd say probably the biggest thing that builds on top of that is that I am literally using those keywords in the right order in the first sentence of every video. I'm using a teleprompter so that I don't mix it up, and that my squirrel brain doesn't just, "Are you looking for editing software on what?" No, I've got to say it in the right order so that it lines up perfectly with what the user has typed in and what that top search phrase is. So YouTube primarily is looking inside your content. It's transcribing, it's listening to what you're saying. So if it can see that your title matches what's in the description, matches some of your tags, matches what you're actually saying in the video, and all of that lines up with word for word what the user is typing in, which that's what they're typing in if you're doing that keyword research or topic research, then it kind of all lines up and it's a fit. So it's much easier to get your content showing up that way in search and suggested, knowing that you're creating content that people are actually looking for. And it makes it easier then for YouTube to say, hey, even if this person didn't search for this, even if they're looking for content that would be a fit, they know that our content is a fit for that person.
Oh, okay.
To do the things that only I can do. So if I have to be in the video, which for right now, that's the case, I don't need to be the one that's editing. If anything, by me bringing in another editor to edit that footage down, it allows them to be really creative and bring a whole different perspective and level of creativity to the video that I wouldn't have because I'm too close to it. If I've done the script and all the filming and everything, we're bringing in a whole different person that can get creative with it and make the editing so much more engaging. And also, like for me, I'm a perfectionist, and I know that we're all our own worst critic, and we don't want to put out anything where we look bad. By removing me out of it, I'm able to literally be separate from it. I'll just look at it and say, yep, is that good enough? Yes. Because me spending 10 hours extra color grading or color correcting a video, our viewers aren't ever going to say, hey, you didn't spend 10 hours color grading this, or hey, I really like this, that you spent 20 more hours on one video. Like, no one's going to know. No one has ever called us out for any of that stuff because they're there for the content. So do what you need to do. Use a teleprompter, film in the most efficient way, speed up things that you can, outsource your editing, save your sanity, and you will grow faster.
Can you put how are the first 15 seconds important for every single YouTube video?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing you need to have is an Australian accent. It works wonders. That just keeps people hooked. No. So this is another area where we struggled, is not hooking the viewer in at the start. So any videos where people start by saying, hey, it's Justin from Primal Video, you'll just see the views drop because no one cares who you are at the start of your video. They care, is this person going to talk about or answer my pain or problem given the title of the video that I've clicked or given the thumbnail that I've clicked? Is this the right video for me? There's almost that bit of anxiety that comes in because they've clicked your video, but they could have clicked a handful of other videos. So they're almost like wondering or asking the question, did I click the right one? Did I click the right one? I can go back and that other one was only 5 minutes. This one's 14. So you've got to let them know immediately that they are in the right place. And that's where, again, starting with that research and knowing what they're there for. Best video editing software. I will say word for word, are you looking for the best video editing software on Mac? In this video, I'm going to help you decide the best one for you. So I have used their words back to them. Best video editing software on Mac, or whatever it is that they've likely typed in, or whatever matches the thumbnail, whatever matches the title that they've clicked on, so we know what they want. I'm repeating that back to them. That helps the algorithm understand what our content is about, but it also helps the viewer understand that they are in the right place. I'll also tell them then how the video can go down. So after I've hooked them in, I will say something like, so if you ever search for video editing software on Mac, there's a lot of options. And they're going, yep, there is a lot of options. So I get their pain or their frustration. So I've gone out and I've tried and tested all the top options. And in this video, I'm going to share the top ones. So I'm going to help you decide which is the best one for you. Perfect. I've just told them what they wanted to hear. And then I'll say, we're gonna go through the pros, the cons, the prices, but make sure you stick around to the end because I'm also going to share with you 3 video editing tips that will help you edit faster, no matter which software you use. So we're hooking people to the end. So even if they were there for the first, like they heard the first app suggestion or program suggestion, like that's the one for me, they're more likely now going to stick around and watch through the others to get to those 3 editing tips, because no one wants to be slow. No one wants to waste time. So we'll always try to have something we're able to hook to the end. Make sure you stick around to the end because I'll also share this, or I'll share the biggest mistake that we made, or the biggest mistake. No one wants to be making mistakes. So how do we tease something that's of value based on the topic of the video? How do we, it's like an over deliver. We're giving more value to the viewers. We're not holding back our number one choice until the end. Like we don't want to be dragging it out and, doing the thing you see on TV, that's coming up after the break. No, we're going to tell you all what you're here for, but I'm also going to give you something else a little later on. So they'll stick around for that. They won't feel like you're just dragging the content out. So that's what we're looking to do in every one of our videos.
Wow. Okay. No, honestly speaking, right now, it's like I saw one of your videos live because I saw that intro, I was seeing your videos this morning. And the intro that you just gave me, wow, that's like perfect. Oh, I love it.
So you won't be able to watch one of our videos now without saying, okay, that's the hook. And those words he's using, they must be the top thing that people are searching for. It's going to be the same for all of our videos. So you'll know what we're targeting. You'll then see when I'm relating to people and acknowledging their pain, yeah, there's a lot of apps out there to do that. Or, whatever it is. It's like, yep, I get that. I get the problem, but don't worry, I got you covered. I've tried and tested all the top options, and I'm going to share my top picks. And again, that's just my top picks, my thoughts, my opinions. You don't have to agree. There's lots of other free content out there that anyone can watch. So yeah, that's our approach.
Wow. As good as a videographer you guys are also like really good marketers. So, this might be a question that I already asked you, but what is like the most important marketing lesson that you learned from YouTube?
So I would say with any social media platform, try and own the audience, or have some way that you can directly communicate with the audience. Like, while our business is, or the face of our business is built on our YouTube channel, the real business behind the scenes is our email list. Because if something happened to our YouTube channel, if something happened to Instagram or any of these other platforms, we still have our action takers. We still have our core audience, the people that want to hear from us, who have opted in and have joined our email list. So that would be my number one tip across any platform, would be to grow an email list. But again, come from that place of how do you add value? Don't just tell people to join on for your newsletter. Give them something that you know that they want. So we have things like editing guides or editing checklists that you can print out and follow along while you're editing. So it's an exchange. We're exchanging that for an email list, for an email address. And so when we want to promote a new video, when we want to promote a course, or when we want to, move our audience from one platform to another, we have direct communication with them via email. That's not going to be filtered by the platform. That's not going to rely on, a notification bell being selected or not. It's direct communication. So that's what I would say to anyone that's looking to grow a business, is how do you own at least one of the communication channels in there?
Everyone has their aha moments on every single social media platform. So what was your aha moment on YouTube?
Our big one was when we started to figure it out, which was when we started to do that research. I know I keep coming back to that, and that's my answer for everything here, but it really is such a fundamental piece that most people who are uploading content on YouTube aren't doing. They're just saying, hey, this would be a really good video. They'll go and make it. They're not giving their thumbnail any strategy. They're not giving the title any strategy or thought. And then they're disheartened when their video gets 10 views or no views, or just doesn't perform the way that they wanted. So that's kind of it all keeps coming back to that, having that insight as to how do I give YouTube everything that it needs to promote my content? How do I make sure that I'm actually creating stuff that viewers want to see? So that way you're not wasting your time creating this amazing video that no one sees. That to me is probably the biggest one. But I would say as well, like the second piece of that is the thumbnail images, and spending some time with creating something that is going to grab people's attention, something that is going to make them want to click your video over all the others. That it's a really important thing. So that's the other sort of aha thing for us, is that we now A/B test, or we split test our thumbnail images. We use TubeBuddy on I think it's on their Legend plan. So it's not a free way to do this, but it's a super powerful way to really get that edge. Because I'm not sure if you've seen as well, but there's a lot of people in Facebook groups these days or online that are uploading different versions of their thumbnail images, and they're saying, which one do you guys think will get more clicks? We could speculate. We could bounce that around all day. I've asked big audiences, which one do you guys think gets more clicks? And it's always, 50-50, or people are saying this one because you're smiling, this one because it doesn't matter. With this TubeBuddy A/B testing, the data is going to tell you. You're going to actually see which one does get more clicks instead of people just speculating. So that's something that we do spend a lot of time with, is looking at the numbers and trying to optimize to get our video clicked over all the others.
That's really interesting. So in this TubeBuddy, does it automatically split your viewers in two different channels?
So one channel, you pick a video, like one of your videos that's already up there, and you upload 2 thumbnail images, and the TubeBuddy app is going to automatically swap it out so that half the people will see one and the other half will see the other. And it's run over a period of time until it's got enough data. So it depends on how much traffic you get or how often that video is shown, but then it will tell you this one gets clicked this percent more. Like whenever they're shown side by side, this one's going to get clicked more. And sometimes, I mean, even if it was as little as a 1% increase, that's 1% increase potentially every single day for the lifetime of that video. And like we've got videos that are upwards of 6 years, still bringing in a ton of views a day. That 1% can be massive, but we've also had some that are in the 90% increase. So that's the kind of stuff that we've already invested the time making the video. How do we get more views on that? So that's where we're spending a lot of time now.
So this is kind of crazy question, but I asked this to sort of every person I interview. So if there is if you could have one social media superpower, what would that superpower be and why?
A social media superpower. I think the ability to, that's a really interesting question. Social media superpower. I think having the ability to really target the right people, because it's all well and good to get views, to get subscribers or whatever, but every piece of content you're creating, you have a specific audience for it. If there was a way to just make sure that the right people were finding your content. Obviously, we can get pretty close on YouTube with the keyword research or anything like that. But if there was something that you could just say, this is for these people, and only those people saw it, I think then everyone across any platform, you'd have so much better results. It's a great question. I haven't really that's all I can kind of come up with. I think the ability to really hone that in to a level where the people you're attracting are the right people much, much faster. And obviously we get close to that with the keyword research, but there's places like Instagram and Facebook and other platforms where that takes so much longer. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. What answers have other people had? What's the best answer you've heard? To throw a question back to you.
One guy gave me this answer, to come up with content ideas in seconds. So that was his answer. Because, as a content creator, I find it really difficult to come up with content ideas, fresh ideas, and constantly coming up with new ideas every single day. So and he was an agency owner. So he told me if I'm able to come up with content ideas in seconds, I can practically give tons of ideas to all my clients and basically expand my business to whole new horizons. So that was actually the most, and this is really interesting too. Able to pinpoint, you spoke like a true marketer, Justin. So as a true marketer,
I'm sorry about that.
Really good answer.
No, so it's in my take on the content ideas is by doing that keyword research or topic research. I don't think you would ever run out of ideas. I'm not worried about running out of ideas. Okay. So I'm more how do we nail it really down so that we are getting the right people so that we can have the impact that we all want to have with our content? Because again, it's not about just getting everyone watching your content. You want the right people watching your content that are going to be impacted and affected by it. So I think if there was any way to really get that down, that would be my answer.
Oh, that is awesome. As I told you, spoken like a true marketer. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, just I don't want to take up any more of your time. So to wrap this up, I want to thank you, on behalf of me and from all my teammates from Pickmaker. We love your videos and we love the work you're doing. A lot of tricks, I'm slowly getting into video editing and video recording, and a lot of most of the tricks, 98% of the tricks that I'm learning is from your videos. So we are really grateful for your videos, and we are really grateful for the time you spent with us. You've spent 40 minutes with us. So we are really grateful for that. And thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions to ask me? Anything to
I want to thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the effort that you put into you guys created an amazing blog. For anyone that hasn't seen us that is watching this, we should link to that because it was pulling apart the banner image. And when I saw that post, I was like, well, there's been a lot of thought going into this. You really looked at the key things that do matter for your YouTube channel banner. So for anyone that is looking for that, I would definitely say to go and check it out. But I really, really appreciate you inviting me on here. I'm glad that we could make it work and that we could hang out.